So today is, it is July the 9th, and it is day 98, about 5 in the afternoon. I'm about somewhere around 20 miles in for the day, and just had some amazing trail magic from Steven. He had a grill out there, grilling burgers, hot dogs. He had potato salad, chips, the whole 9 yards. It was amazing. And now I'm trying to do about another 5 miles. And hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks.
Hello.
Thank you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. And as you can see, day hikers, because I just went through a parking area where the trail comes through the woods to a little road where there was a parking area. So typically when you get to those parking areas, there's a lot of day hikers for a couple miles. Most time day hikers don't venture too far out from where they park. But anyway, today has been amazing, and I really needed it. I've been kind of down in the dumps lately. The trail's been just getting, it's not that it's too hard or anything, but it's just been, I don't know, I'm just getting to the point where I'm just ready for it to be over. You know, same old views day after day, you know, which has mainly been nothing, no views. Just walking in the woods with your head down. And there's mud everywhere. Just let me give you an example of the mud. It's just so nasty. And so you're having to tiptoe through these areas, trying not to get my feet soaking wet or covered in mud. But and it just makes hiking not all that enjoyable. So anyway, today it's been getting a little less mud, and there's been some really nice views today, and it's been clear all day. And anyway, it was very very nice to have some really good views. So I going to hopefully end up with about 25 or 26 miles for the day today, which is a good day considering I got a late start. I stayed the night in Manchester Center, Vermont last night, so I didn't get a ride and get on trail until 8:15. So so anyway, it's been very rewarding, and I got to talk to some guys that are hiking southbound. They typically start their hike June 1st when Baxter State Park opens up, which is where Mount Katahdin is. And I'm starting to pass some of the southbounders, and they said that even just a few days ahead, the terrain starts to change and the views are just amazing, and it's really a lot of fun hiking through that section, even though it's really, really hard, really steep, and the weather changes a lot in those mountains in New Hampshire. But I'm excited for some change. Because I'm tired of just walking through what they call the green tunnel, which is just what you see behind me. I mean, you just walk through the woods. But anyway, something I forgot to mention in the video before is I saw a bear the other day climbing up Stratton Mountain, and it was really cool. He went down to get a drink of water out of the creek, and then he saw me, and he took off running. I mean, he hauled tail into the woods, and it was really neat to watch him run like that. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he was so scared of me. He just took off running, snapping little saplings as he ran through. It was really neat. So it's only the third bear that I've seen. So pretty neat. But I've been seeing moose droppings all day today, so I'm excited to see a moose, hopefully sooner than later. One that doesn't charge me, that is. So I'm sure I'll try and get a picture of one if I can get close enough. Hopefully that's next. All right. It is July the 13th. It's been a couple days since I did a video. I have to be honest, I've grown tired of doing videos. And I'm really sorry. I feel like I talk a lot about the same thing, but a lot of the same things happen. So I am currently in New Hampshire, which is very exciting. What's not very exciting is it's raining again. It just stopped, but it's been raining all night and all morning. So I left Rutland the other day, a few days ago, and only hiked about 16 miles out of there after staying at the Yellow Deli. And I'd caught up with Buzz, Ounce, and Little Bear at that point, and a couple other guys, Yogi and Bear Slayer, and Bulletproof. But anyway, got out of there, went to this really cool lookout cabin. It's got like one of those bird's nest, eagle's nest things on top of it, so you can see all around 360 degrees. Really neat. And then I left there, and I left before all the other guys got up, and wanted to see if I could do 30 miles into Hanover, New Hampshire, which was a really tough day, but I did it. I didn't walk into Hanover, New Hampshire until around 7:30. God, it's so muddy. Got into town. I found a pizza place, and it was really cool because they give thru hikers a free slice of pizza. So I got my free slice of pizza, then I got another slice of pizza and a beer. It was really good. Sat outside and talked to a couple locals who were really nice. And I had a list that I had taken a picture of, because it was a billboard when I walked out of the woods getting into New Hampshire. And there was a list of people that help out thru hikers with places to stay, shuttles, whatever they need. And it was like 20 people on the list. I sat at the pizza place and called or text. Some of them wanted to be text. I called or text every single one of them, and nobody was willing to help me. So there it was, about 8:30. It was getting dark, and I know it was supposed to start raining around midnight, and I had nowhere to go after walking 30 miles. So I kind of needed to resupply my food too. So at the end of town there was a food store before you walk back into the woods on the AT, and once I got there it was closed. So I put my headlamp on and walked into the woods to the first shelter, which is only about a mile. I got there around 9:30, only to find out that it's like a mile walk, or not quite a mile walk, probably half a mile walk actually, to the water source. So after setting up my stuff in the shelter, I put my headlamp back on to try and find this water. Well, I walked and walked and walked through the woods, and I could not find water. I did find where there was it looked like a dried up creek bed, and there was a pipe that was dug down, and there was water in that. And there was also a floating dead mouse. So needless to say, I didn't get any water. So I was ridiculously thirsty last night. But all was well. I slept fairly good. About 1 o'clock in the morning, it started raining. When I heard the rain on the shelter roof, I got out of the tent with my water bottle and collected water off of the roof as it dripped off of the roof. So I got a little water. So that was good. Kind of a late start this morning. I waited for a good storm to kind of roll through, and then took off in the rain. But I am less than a mile away from a road crossing, and there's a tiny town of Etna, New Hampshire. I say town. I don't even know if it's anything more than a couple little stores, but there's the Etna General Store, and I'm gonna see if they have enough food for me to get about another 30 or 35 miles up the trail to Glencliff, New Hampshire, before I climb Mount Moosilauke after Glencliff. So I have a little bit of food left, not a lot, not enough to make it that far. So even if they just have candy bars and chips and things like that, I'll just have to pack that up to push me on through. But in the guidebook, it also says they have ice cream, so I am definitely going to be having a pint or two of ice cream for breakfast this morning. Late breakfast, more like brunch. So anyway, that's a little update. Sorry the videos are getting, I know it's getting fewer and fewer. I've just kind of lost it. It's not just me losing interest in doing the video. It's also, I haven't had very good cell signal to upload these videos. And for whatever reason, it doesn't always upload. So I can be in the middle of an upload, and it'll be an hour and a half in, and then all of a sudden it'll just freeze up, and I have to start all over again. So that's really frustrating, and it's very time consuming. So that's another reason. So I will try to, if I have signal here in Etna, I'll try and get a video uploaded, where it's going to be one that I should have uploaded a week and a half ago or more. So we'll go from there. But anyway, New Hampshire, and then only Maine left. But I still have about 440 or 430 miles to do after today. But I'm slowly knocking away at it. All right, July 14th, 7 a.m. Maybe quarter after now. Man, so yesterday I told you about how the night before I went in the shelter and it rained and had to collect water off of the roof because it didn't have any water, yada yada. Well, yesterday, we get to a road crossing about 18 miles in, and I look on my guidebook and there's a town about 4 miles. So I hitched a ride into town. There was an Italian restaurant, and so I treated myself. It was really good. It was not as good as home, but it was very good. But as I was leaving, I grabbed all of my things and I left my hat on the chair. And I've had that hat since mile 470 in Damascus, Virginia, Southern Virginia. And now I know how Tom Hanks felt when he lost Wilson. I mean, I didn't cry over it, but man, it sucks. I really wanted to finish with that hat, but now to hopefully get across this stream without falling and busting my butt. That worked out. So anyway, I guess I'll have to find a hat somewhere along the line. I'm sure my wife will be happy about that because I have so many hats already, but you know, it'd be nice to have a hat. Block some of the sun off my face. When I get up here in the White Mountains, it's all exposed above ridgeline. So, but anyway, that's an update. I'm trying to get into, I think it's about 24, 25 miles to get into Glencliff, New Hampshire. And that's where I'll stay tonight, somewhere around there. And then tomorrow I'll have the toughest climb and descent that I've had the entire trail so far, and that's Mount Moosilauke. And it is a beast of a mountain, and I've heard horror stories the entire trail about it. So tomorrow is my turn for the beast. So I'm gonna try and knock these miles out as quick as I can today, although there's a lot of really big climbs today as well, but I'm gonna try and knock them out so I can get into Glencliff and try and get a good night's rest, and eat a bunch of food so I can push through tomorrow, hopefully with not too many issues. So anyway, see you next time. So this is Moosilauke Mountain. Started a couple hours ago, and now to the top. Doing my little video at the top with all the fog. And here we are on top of Moosilauke, or Moosilauke. I don't know if you can see that. Good stuff. That's a good climb. Oh yeah. Feeling good this morning. Wish there was a better view, but we're in a cloud.